Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to another exciting meeting at Toastmaster for Professionals. Life is all about learning, growing, and becoming a better version of yourself. Last weekend, I was learning advanced Scrum Master about how to become an advanced Scrum Master, and I got a certification in that. And guess what? 1/3 of the course was all what I learned in Toastmasters, whether it was conflict management, or whether it is how to do one-on-one mentoring, or whether it is mentoring versus coaching. And there are several things that I learned, including negotiation skills. This has helped me actually, even before this course, how to perform my role as a Scrum Master. What about you? Are you learning things and implementing in your professional and personal life? Toastmasters is all about learning the skills on the fly and implementing in your personal and professional life. I hope you will do that. Talking about certification, yes, I have an advanced Scrum Master certification. What about you? Our Toastmaster today has a wonderful theme: free, free, free. Or rather, not really free, but at least some economical certification from international universities that you can add to your CV. Before I invite our Toastmaster of the day, let me introduce few guests in the room, or rather acknowledge them. We have Jen Lazia. Jen, where are you joining today from, and how did you hear about our club?
Hi, I am joining from Florida, and I found your club just kind of by searching the Toastmasters site. I was looking for something virtual for professionals, and this seemed like it fit the bill. I'm looking to kind of improve my public speaking as part of my career development goals. And so, yeah, that's how I kind of came across you guys.
Wonderful, Jen. Stay back, and I'm sure you will find this platform as one thing that you want, you can, and you want for your professional growth.
Thank you.
We have another guest who have joined, Chaitra Bharat. Chaitra, do you want to quickly introduce yourself and tell how did you find about our club?
Uh, Hello everyone, this is Dr. Chaitra. I'm joining in from Mysore in Karnataka state of India. And I heard about this meeting from my Toastmasters club, which is Toastmasters Club of Manage. And it's so great to be here, and I hope to learn a lot from all of you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Chaitra. Mohini Ramalingam, welcome to the meeting. Do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I'm from Coimbatore, India. And again, I got this link from my our Toastmasters group. So I thought I'd like to attend a real meeting from start to finish and see how professional it is and learn a lot about your professionalism. Even though I've passed the professional age, but still learning is still good, isn't it? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mohini. I hear 3 times professionalism and professional in your statements, but let us see how you find our professional club doing on professionalism. Talking about the club is recently chartered in District 101, California. The timing is usual. We meet every Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. California Standard Time, which is Indian Standard Time, 7 a.m. I know people who don't wake up early, it might be hard for you, but if you are an early waker, something like me, I wake up by 4:30. What about you? And people from Eastern Standard Time zone, this is later for you, I know. This is more like 9:30 p.m. But let us see how you survive that. Unless you are maniac or toastaholic like our friend Susan. This is a true international group of members. We have members from different countries and different regions of United States. And today, the group here represents so many states in India, so many states in United States, and so many countries too. With that note, let me introduce the Toastmaster of the day, a friend that I know from my beginning of Toastmaster journey. Distinguished Toastmaster Pramod. He's a banker and he is a regional general manager, something like that. I don't know very much, but he's a banker by profession. And he's a keynote speaker in so many places and also in Toastmaster. He has served in District 98 as District Finance Manager earlier. Now he is here as a member of this club, as a VP membership, and today as a Toastmaster of the day. Over to you, DTM Pramod.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, dear Toastmasters and friends. Welcome to another exciting session of Toastmasters for Professionals. This time I've come out with a different topic, an exciting topic which will give you some knowledge about the world of online courses. Then we are all here for our professional and personal development. So today's topic is very much close to the purpose of Toastmasters. In a way, what we are doing here is very much important to what I am going to talk about today. It all started in the lockdown. So lockdown was a life-changing experience for many people. These courses were there even before lockdown. But what happened is during the lockdown, people found it very awkward. Many people felt their energy drained out completely. They wanted to intellectually challenge themselves and they wanted to keep everything. So they found out a new solution. And before jumping into the topic and finding any solutions, I'll let you know about today's program. So I am playing the role of TMoD. I'm telling all this for the benefit of guests who are attending for the first time. So we have a set format in Toastmasters. The entire meeting is divided into 2 sessions. The first session is of prepared speeches. Here, we have 3 speakers today. They will prepare a speech based on some project objectives. They will give the speech as per their timing. Then later, the senior leaders or the senior Toastmasters will give oral and written evaluation to the speeches delivered by the speakers. Second session consists of table topics. Here, a table topic master will come and test your speaking skills, mostly impromptu speaking skills. So it's an exciting session. So these are the 2 sessions. And for conducting this meeting, I have a team of people who are here to help me. First, I'm starting with Sergeant at Arms. The person who opened the meeting was DTM Raghunath Raju. Today, he's acting as a Sergeant at Arms. At the same time, he's acting as the president also. He's the president of the club. Thank you, Raghu, for opening the meeting and also giving a stunning presidential address for the benefit of the guest. The second, we have a timer. So time is everything. Today, Toastmaster Kamesh is playing the role of a timer. I would request Toastmaster Kamesh to come up and speak a few words about the relevance of his role. Over to you, Kamesh.
Thank you. Hello everyone, this is Kamesh. Today I'm playing the role of timer. Mainly, I'll be keeping an eye on the time spent by each participant in the today's meeting, and I'll be making sure that the time is consumed efficiently. And I'm going to alert each participant based on the allocated time by using green, which is like the minimum time that they have allocated is met, and yellow after 30 seconds or 1 minute based on the speech, and red is at the end of the time that is allocated. After that, each participant will get an additional 30 seconds time. So this is how I'm going to keep a tab on the time. Thank you. Over.
Thank you, Kamesh. I will let this speaker and other audience know about the time sequence when it comes to the speech. Next is people normally in Toastmasters, we say that the art of communication is the language of leadership. So in order to learn the language of leadership, you should understand the art of communication. So here the language is very important, and we have a language evaluator, or we call it grammarian, for today's meeting. Today's meeting, we have a last minute grammarian. Thanks to Mohan Teneti for accepting the role as a grammarian. Mohan, do you have the language word of the day for today's meeting?
Sorry, I don't.
Okay. So let us make a word of the day for today, and maybe you can announce it in the chat while the meeting is progressing. Okay, just a word of the day. Okay. We are here to improve our impromptu skills and also our public speaking skills. So we are counting the R's, and crutch words and everything. So there is a role called R counter. So today, Toastmaster Guillermo James is helping me with playing the role of R counter. Guillermo, please say hi to the audience. Yeah, and there is one person who is observing the entire proceedings of this meeting, and he is more like a critic, and he will come at the end of this meeting and he will offer his comments for the improvement of the meeting. That is called the general evaluator. So for the post of general evaluator, we have a seasoned Toastmaster Ashwin Patel. Welcome to you, Ashwin, for this meeting.
Thank you. Grammarian, did I hear grammarian or Toastmaster? I think my hearing is going off. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. The evaluation portion of our meeting is an extremely important part of our meeting, as it provides the speakers who gave prepared speeches tonight with instantaneous feedback from their fellow Toastmaster members. The purpose of the evaluation is to give both positive comments and suggestions for improvement. Hopefully, each speaker will feel encouraged by aspects of their speech that went well and motivated to make their speeches even better for the next time. And my role as general evaluator is to introduce the evaluators for each speaker, and also share some of my observations regarding the overall quality of the meeting. Thank you. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ashwin, general evaluator. Language evaluator, grammarian, had shared the word of the day in the chat box. The word of the day is cadence. So you may please take note of that and try to use it maximum times in your speech, incorporating the word of the day. And when somebody is using the word of the day, please raise your hand, give a thumbs up to the speaker, and encourage the speaker and other role players to use the word of the day again and again. The last but not least, we have a table topic master. I'll give a detailed introduction about the table topic master before the session begins. Now it's time for the first speech. So we have 3 stunning speakers today with 3 seasoned evaluators. Let me welcome the first speaker. The first speaker is a voluntary neurosurgeon based out of Philippines. He is none other than Toastmaster Stephen Bui. Today, Stephen is delivering a speech from level 3. The project is Inspire Your Audience. The evaluator for the speech is DTM Susan Schulz, and the time allotted for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Timer, please note that the green at 5, yellow at 6, red at 7, and the speaker will get 30 seconds grace period to wrap up his speech. The title of the speech is Snooze Your Way to Professional Success, and the speaker is Stephen Bui. Let me welcome Stephen Bui. Over to you, Stephen.
Early to bed, early to rise, makes a man wealthy, healthy, and wise. This is a timeless recommendation from my favorite founder of United States of America, a founding father of the United States of America. Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Pramod. Welcome, everyone, distinguished Toastmasters, and guests. Today, I will go over why snoozing is a way to help us, especially professional, to our way to success. And this relates to Benjamin Franklin because he is also professional. Did you know that Ben Franklin, not only a statesman, he's also a scientist, an inventor, and a writer. And why is this topic more relevant today? Well, I think many of you will probably notice, and notice for yourself as well as busy professionals, that we are all pressed for time. And one of the things in America where people struggle to get to the top and want to show people that you work hard, one of the things that we neglect the most is sleep. However, sleep is so important and so critical for our brain development, for productivity, and creativity. These are important factors for business success, for professionals. And if you lose your productivity, your creativity, you will lose an edge, and it will affect your career as well. Well, this is why it's so important that sleep is something that we should talk more about it. I want to raise awareness. This is the reason why. According to the National Sleep Foundation, 14% of the adults get enough sleep. And what their definition of enough sleep is 7 hours of sleep per night. Now raise your hand if you get minimum of 7 sleep hours a night every night. Well, great, I see a few of you there, but the statistic is staggering. And I am part of that statistics as well. So 14%, that is less than 20 people out of 100 people get enough sleep. And Susan, that's congratulations to you. Maybe that's one of the reasons why you are so successful in your career. But many of us not getting enough sleep, and we don't talk about it. And sleep, there's 2 components of sleep. And for the purpose of this talk, we're not going to go into the details of it. There's the quantity component and the quality component. Today, I will go over six strategies that will help improve both. Well, for us to improve our sleep, we have to recognize and accept that we need to improve on this component. So the first strategy I want to recommend, or that you can apply, is consistency. Just like what we talk about when we move, we want to move with a good cadence so that we can be consistent. When I run, I'm a runner. So cadence is very important. And thank you for the timely of the word of the day. So consistent schedule is one of the first strategies that you can help, because it will help us to align our circadian rhythm. That's the rhythm that we move through the day every day. And that will help improve the quality and quantity of your sleep. The second component is our environment for sleep. 3 words: dark, cool, and quiet. That's what you want to set up your environment for better sleep. Third strategy: limit the amount of alcohol or caffeine. Tea is another source of caffeine besides coffee. You want to minimize that at least 1 hour before sleep to optimize your sleep. Now, a lot of people will say, oh, alcohol helped me fall asleep. That may be true, but it makes you restless. You sleep restless, so the total amount of sleep you actually get is a lot shorter. And the quality of sleep is compromised as well. The fourth strategy is regular exercise. Regular exercise will help increase our deep sleep. But the caveat for that would be, make sure you finish your workout at least an hour before your sleep time, or for strenuous exercise. The fifth strategy includes relaxation techniques. like meditation, yoga, stretching. And last but not least, I'm guilty of this as well. We all have to work on this. And we're all using this right now. Avoid screen time and at least 1 hour before my bedtime. So my sleep tonight will be affected because I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do because of our meeting. But this is so important to me. Our meeting is so important to me that it's important for me to be here. So 1 day a week that I'm getting not as good quality of sleep, it's okay. Well, what is my recommendation for my friends here at the Toastmaster professionals? The first recommendation is don't try to implement these strategies all at once. Look through them and see one strategy that affects you the most or you're the weakest at, and apply that just one strategy at a time. The second recommendation I have is to apply this strategy over a period of time. It takes normally about a month for us to develop a habit. So over a period of time, what I recommend is about a month for us to apply the strategy you want to apply for a period of months, so that will be a habit to you, consistency, cadence. If you apply these strategies to your life, it will help us as professionals to be healthy, wealthy, and wise, according to Benjamin Franklin. And that, my friend, is my definition of success. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmaster of the Day, Pramod.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for that beautiful speech. Audience, there is a small correction. Stephen is a foot and ankle surgeon based out of United States. In my intro, I said something different. Sorry for that error. Now, let's learn a little bit about the topic. I told you already that this topic I have selected based on my personal experience. I was introduced to the world of online learning by a friend of mine who did more than 100 courses during the lockdown. So you may be wondering, 100 certifications during the lockdown. I felt it a little bit awkward. Then I asked a question, how are you going to apply all those things in your personal and professional life? He said, when you do some course, some helps you, some don't. Then I also started doing this course and I selected the top 5 courses which I have done. And I'm sure that these courses will help you as well. If you are doing this course, if you are reading the material, and this will give you a sense of purpose in your professional and personal life. For the paucity of time, I won't be explaining too much about the topic, the courses. I'll just tell you the name of the course. I'll show you where it is available and also some intro about the course so that you can go back, you can see whether it is convenient and it is comfortable to you, you can do that. So Rakhu, let me share the screen.
Oh, stop.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the first course, and this online course is offered by the Yale University. I don't know how many of you can go to Yale and do a course before the pre-COVID era. So I don't know, because I have searched in the Yale when I was planning to do my graduation or post-graduation, and I found it very expensive and unaffordable. So when this course was introduced, I was really happy that at least finally in paper, I would be getting a certificate from the Yale University. So this is something very interesting. And what this course is about: mental health, happiness, the concept called flow. So I have seen Toastmasters giving a speech about the topic flow in multiple times in different clubs. So you will understand all those things. It's a 10-week course. There is a journal you have to maintain. And this will give you a strong sense of purpose in your life. Even if you are a professional, you are a student, you are fighting with some problems within yourself, some conflicts. So it is a lot of things are bundled into one course. So you may go back to Coursera. Coursera is an online platform, and you search for this course and you will get it. Very convenient. I strongly advise. It stands number 1 in my list. Okay, now let's move on to the next speaker. The next speaker is from District 125. He is the present Club Growth Director of District 125. His name is Distinguished Toastmaster Milind Patwardhan. Milind is here to give his icebreaker from a new path, the dynamic leadership. So when somebody is giving an icebreaker, we don't have to give more introduction because it is the introduction to the club. So the title of the speech, I'll tell you before that, let me introduce the evaluator. Evaluator is a doctor based in Malaysia, volunteering in Philippines. She is a long-time Toastmaster. It is none other than Toastmaster Dr. Mary Thomas. The title of the speech is A Grandfather's Story. Timer, please note the time allotted for this speech is 4 to 6 minutes. Green at 4, yellow at 5, and red at 7. Then same 30 seconds. With a round of applause, let me welcome Distinguished Toastmaster Milind Patwardhan.
First of all, just a timer before you start. Am I audible? Because I had some difficulty with my network.
You are very much audible, I'm listening.
Yeah, and timer, the time is 4, 5, and 6, Pramod. I think it's not 7. I think you heard mentioned 7. So it's 4, 5, and
4,
6.
5, and 6. Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. So timer, are you ready? Can we start?
Yeah, please start.
Good evening, good afternoon, good morning to all my fellow members. I am no more a member of District 125. Okay, I am of course a member of District 125, but now I'm also a member of District 101, to which this club belongs because I have just become a member of this club. So let us start. I'm first of all very happy to be standing over here in front of you to give a brief introduction about myself. So where do I start? Normally you start from the first, right? But today I'm going to start from the end. 28th March 2023 is a day which is permanently etched in my memory. And guess why? No, not because I won the division contest, or not because I was suddenly promoted to a senior vice president, neither because I hit a hole in the one on the golf course. Any guesses? That was the day our elder daughter delivered a baby boy. I very distinctly remember. It was a Tuesday, cold but sunny morning. We were at the Kaiser Health Center in downtown San Francisco, waiting at the waiting hall for almost 16 hours. And suddenly the paramedic appears with a smiling face and says, "Sir, you have become a grandfather." So today, are you ready to listen to this grandfather, to his story? So let me begin. I grew up in Bombay, the financial capital of India. I worked at various organizations in various cities in India, but the most important stint of my life was for 24 years in the Middle East, in a beautiful small country called the Sultanate of Oman. I did sales, I was in marketing, I was in business development. And for a very long period, I was the head of a business unit wherein I had the opportunity to interact with various types of people. People from the Middle East, Asia, Far East, Europe, Africa, and sometimes people from the United States. In this 35 years of professional experience, 24 in Oman and 11 in India, there are 4 mantras of professional success which I have imbibed. And I'm going to tell you that. The first one is always focus on the processes. Don't so much worry about the results. The results will take care of itself. Number 2, whatever you be doing, professional success can come only and only if you are number 1, perseverant, number 2, patient, and number 3, have that passion towards that goal which you are trying to achieve. The third mantra is build relationships. Remember, your network is your net worth. And the last mantra is that be a good human being, have good values, irrespective, with all the stakeholders with which you're dealing, whether they could be your customers, they could be your vendors, they could be your peers, they could be your subordinates, they could be your superiors, they could be your board of directors. Basic human values, please ensure that you are good at that. Now, why am I telling you about all this? Because these are the 4 mantras which helped me repivot myself when I came back to India and to a new career. And you know what that career was, Susan? I became a Toastmaster. I've been a Toastmaster since 2017. I started with that old course, the CC, CL. I completed my CC, CL, and then ALB. And then I moved to Pathways. And then I took various roles in the executive committee of the club. And then I became an area director. In the process, I completed my DTM. Then I became a division director. And today, when I'm standing in front of you, I'm the club growth director of District 125. District 125 is the youngest district in Toastmasters International, Ashwin Bhai. It was formed in July of 22. We are just 10 months old. And in these 10 months, I am so proud to say that today, and Pramod will vouch for it, we are number 2 in the world in terms of club growth. We have started 16 clubs in the last 10 months, and we will start another 2 to 4 in the next 2 months. And I owe all this success to those 4 mantras. Now you may ask me, then Milind, then why are you here? Why are you at Toastmasters for Professionals? The last few weeks, I have attended meetings, and then I have realized that there is so much more for me to learn. The famous writer and futurist Alvin Toffler said, the illiterate of the 21st century are not the ones who cannot read or write, but they're going to be the ones who do not have the ability to learn, unlearn, and relearn. I am here today to learn. I am here today to unlearn. I am here today to relearn. Thank you so much, guys and ladies, for having me in this club. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Milind. We will also get an opportunity to learn, relearn, and unlearn through your speeches. So it's a custom in our Toastmasters club that we give a standing ovation to somebody who is giving his icebreaker speech. Even though he is a distinguished Toastmaster, icebreaker is always an icebreaker. So I would request all the members to give a stunning standing ovation to our new club member, distinguished Toastmaster Milind Patwardhan. And let me officially welcome you to the club. Okay, let me continue my second topic before moving to the next 1 minute. From the beginning, yes. This is, how many of you have heard about an institute called Indian Institute of Management? I'm not sure. Maybe people from India must have heard about it. This is the best management institute in India as per the sort of the surveys and ratings. And Indian Institute, we have several Indian Institute, and A, B, C are the best. A for Ahmedabad, B for Bangalore, and C for Kolkata. These are the 3 places in India. So they are offering for the first time some online courses for the benefit of students who aspire to become management expert. There is something called Micro Masters program. This is a program available in Coursera. Again, it's about business management. Business management is not a typical subject for business management students. It is actually practical lessons, even if you are managing some business. So one thing we in India see commonly is people are not very much interested in understanding the financial side of their business. So they are good in sales, they are good in marketing, they are good in PR, but they are not good in finance. For that, they depend on a chartered accountant or a financial expert. But this course will give you an insight into the nuances of business, and it will teach you what are the areas you need to learn. If you are an entrepreneur, if you are going to be a startup founder, or if you are planning to start something of your own, then this It's a small course. This will give you the necessary information about improving or making a standardized pattern of your entrepreneurial journey. So this is also again available in Coursera. If somebody is interested in doing this course, very short course, 7 weeks, but you can complete it in 2-3 weeks. And write down if you are interested. Later, I'll be sharing this presentation in the group, in our members group. So you can go and find out more about this course. It will be interesting to you. Okay, let's move on to the next speaker. The next speaker, before introducing the speaker, let me introduce the speech details. He has chosen the path dynamic leadership. It's a level 1 project 2 speech. The purpose of the speech is it's a speech with a purpose. That's the project objective. Speaker is none other than Toastmaster Rajat Gupta. Time allotted for the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Evaluator for this speech is Toastmaster Amit Dudani. Title of the speech is Electric Vehicles, the Need of the Hour. Electric Vehicles, the Need of the Hour. Toastmaster Rajat Gupta. Over to you, Rajat.
Okay. First of all, thank you very much, Toastmaster today. I would like to confirm, am I audible?
Yes, you are audible and visible.
Okay, thank you very much. So, I'm ready right now. So, just imagine with me, guys, you are going on a long ride with your loved one. From the window seat, you see outside, you see clouds, you see trees. There's a little shower as well. You instantly feel the urge to open your car's window. As soon as you open your car's window and the first gust of wind hits your face, you instantly feel relaxed. You just wanted to be remain there. You forget all your worries. Isn't that beautiful? Sheer imagining us gives us so much serenity in our mind, let alone living in it. However, imagine with me another situation. Now you are going on a ride, but from your window seat, you don't see clouds, you see smoke. You don't see trees, you see warning signs, which says hazardous environment, keep your windows closed. Hazardous environment, keep your windows closed. Isn't that horrifying? Isn't that daunting? Very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my friends and fellow Toastmasters. Today I am going to talk about cars. There are multiple cars in the market, but I divide cars in two ways. One is conventional cars, another I call electric cars. Conventional cars are driven by engines, and the fuel for the engines are gasoline, gas, or diesel. And electric cars, they are driven by motor, and motor gets its power from a pack of batteries. Now you guys must be wondering why I'm telling you details about cars. Because the basic purpose of the car is to take us from point X to point Y. And both cars do the same purpose. So why should we bother about so much details? So let me tell you something, that there are enough reasons to bother. In 1890s, from 1890 when the first gasoline engine was invented to today's modern car, the lot has happened. Our cars have innovated. We can reach miles of speed within seconds. Even fuel for these cars have become more cleaner. But due to inherent nature of these carbon-based fuel we use in our conventional cars, every time we burn fuel, some emissions are released. And what is the main component of these emissions? Carbon dioxide, CO2, which we all know is a greenhouse gas. And what greenhouse gas causes? Global warming. I accept that global warming is not something new. We all have heard global warming since I don't know how many years. But the rate with it's happening and its consequences are certainly worth noticing. So let me put you some facts about the global warming that are happening right now. The concentration of the greenhouse gases reached record level once again in 2022. If we talk about the consequences, 6% of the glacier ice volume was lost between 2021 and 2022. In East Africa, the rainfall has been below average in 4 consecutive wet seasons. the longest in 40 years, and floods in Pakistan and something else in other parts of the world. So you guys must convince right now if there are reason to worry, there are reason to think the why from how our cars are being driven. But the question comes, so what is the solution? So what should we do as an individual consumer? So let me tell you some details about electric vehicles as well, and then you guys tell me whether you find some solution in it or not. Electric vehicles, they are driven by motors, and motor gets its power from a pack of batteries. The battery gives electricity to the motor, and motor generates motion, and boom, no emission at all. With zero, we are driving wherever we want without leaving any footprint behind us. Now you guys must be wondering that electricity must be coming from somewhere too as well, because in generation of electricity also requires some level of emission. So we cannot say that it's a zero emission. Yes, you are thinking in a right direction. Electricity requires some level of emissions as well. But if we put the facts in unbiased manner, we see that there are comparable significant difference between the emission level released by a gasoline engine and an electric vehicle. And let me tell you another set of facts that have been compiled by researchers from MIT in their climate report. What they say that? They say that a gasoline engine emits 350 grams of carbon dioxide per mile over lifetime. And that is the comparable data for electric vehicles, only 200 grams. The same stats goes for US Department of Energy, which tell that an electric vehicle releases approximately 4,000 pounds of carbon dioxide equivalent per year. But the same data for gasoline engine is around 12,000. So you can see that there is a clear difference between the emission level. There are 2 to 3 times more emissions are being emitted from a gasoline engine. If we extrapolate this data, so we can clearly conclude that by switching from gasoline to an electric vehicle, we can certainly make a significant positive impact on global warming. Now, some obvious questions comes in our mind that does making such an individual choices count for anything? Can it make any difference of any significance? So let me tell you a story, a success story of collective willpower, the story of ozone layer. In 1970, we detected a hole in ozone layer. In 1976, we found that the hole was caused by CFCs. And at that time, CFC was used everywhere from refrigerator, air conditioner to packets of chips. But when we realized that it was $1 billion, let me tell you a fact about the CFC industry, it was an $8 billion industry, employed more than 1 million people. But once we realized this hazardous environment, hazardous consequences, and decided to do something about it, we were able to make governments and industries make swift action. And guess with me, guys, in 2016, ozone layer started recovering. And we are hopeful that by 2065, this would have been fully covered. By telling you this story, I would like to instill confidence in each one of you that if we were able to pull it off in past, we certainly can in future. And we will have to, because we certainly don't want to be the last generation who enjoys their car rides with windows fully open. So when I say I feel fully convinced that electric vehicle is certainly the need of the hour. Thank you, Toastmasters. Back to you.
Thank you, Rajat. Thank you for that relevant speech. I'm sure that you must have enjoyed it. Now, let's move on to the next and the last session of our meeting, which is the second half of the meeting, the table topic session. Without much ado, let me introduce the table topic master for today's meeting. He is one who's a 4-time DTM, and he is the founder, president, chartered president of our club. It's none other than distinguished Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju. I'm sure that I spelled his name correct. So with a round of applause, let me welcome the table topic master for today's meeting. Over to you, Raghu.
Wonderful. Distinguished Toastmaster Pramod, you attempted your first table topic by pronouncing my name correctly. That's what I call it. My name has been mispronounced several times in several countries wherever I went to give a speech. whether it is a Toastmaster or outside Toastmaster. So that pushed me to give a speech. What's in your name? Probably sometime in this club. But for now, for the benefit of all the guests in the room, life is not a prepared speech. My favorite quote, because we get to some point where we cannot go prepared, but we need to present ourselves, whether it is 1 to 2 minutes or whatever time it requires. But that time makes a lot of difference in your life. It decides your fate sometimes, whether it is giving presentation to your client and then somebody asks you some question on the spot. They take a crucial decision based upon them. Whether it is your boss asking question or your wife asking question, where were you last night? Your answer makes a lot of difference, isn't it? Whether your children, I have 2 sons, they keep asking several questions and I need to answer them on the spot. That made me refine my table topics. So in Toastmasters is all about swimming pool compared to the sea outside. You practice here. There is no pass, fail here. Nobody judges you. Everybody just tell you how to improve yourself. Table topics is all about practicing for that impromptu situations in your life. I'll ask you a question. You can speak against or for, it's up to you. You can talk anything for 1 to 2. It's all about practicing something to speak about. And I also give you some recommendation in that. You need to speak for at least 1 minute. 1 to 2 minutes is the timing. So you speak at least for 1 minute and then maximum 2 minutes. You have a grace period of 30 seconds. Who wants to go first? I'll invite one Toastmaster to demonstrate how it is done, and then I'll invite the guests and new members to see how we can do that. Let me invite one seasoned speaker here, which is Elios, who is joining from Indonesia today. Elios, what makes you unique in this world? Or rather, when you stand in a crowd, what makes you unique? Oh, no problem. The question passed to DTM Susan. What makes you unique, distinguished Toastmaster Susan?
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and honored guests. Now, I gave a speech about this very topic, but it took 45 minutes. I can't even imagine how I would present within 1 minute to 2 that which makes me unique. Now, genetically, I had 2 very unique parents. I do have a sibling, complete opposite of me. I stand alone in my determination in our family, and I've always been rather confident. I was more confident than I perhaps should have been as a child. And as I grew older, I actually lost some of that confidence. I became shy. I became withdrawn. I'd rather watch the world go by than be part of it. And then I got over that and I became a joiner. I joined everything I possibly could join as a school-aged individual. And now as an adult, I have visited multiple Toastmasters clubs. I am a member currently of 8 of them. That does make me a little bit unique, but I am retired. So I do have the privilege of sleeping in the mornings. But what makes me unique, perhaps, is my foundation as a Girl Scout, trying to help others at all times, and always trying to be a sister to every other Scout, and perhaps now a sister to every other Toastmaster. Those lessons I learned as a Girl Scout to make the world a better place, one day at a time, applies also in Toastmasters. I can walk in the door and make friends and connect with folks, or I could stay quiet and be in the shadows, keep off the camera, and don't let you know me. I think I'm an open book at this point. And if you stick around, you'll get to know me some more, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Susan. Ritu Ghosh, do you want to try?
Sure.
Ritu Ghosh is an instant Toastmaster. She just joined a couple of minutes before the meeting. Toastmaster Ritu Ghosh. The topic is, what is your superpower? As a woman, what is your superpower, Toastmaster Ritu Ghosh?
Sure. So I would rather say what I can say my superpower is maybe one of the weakness, but I take it as a superpower. So I feel I have very poor memory. Like I tend to forget things which didn't go well with me. So that kind of gives me an advantage, and I forget bad things happened in past very soon, and that kind of gives me power to continue, like without sorrow, without any like grudge against anyone. I kind of forgive people very soon because I forgot their misdeeds. So that's something I think is a superpower to me, but in back of my mind there is a little bit of concern too. Maybe I should get some checkup done of my memory, which tend to I lose a lot. But maybe there's nothing to alarm. Maybe I'm just a person who likes to just keep the good memories and forget the bad ones. So I will consider this as my superpower, and hopefully this is going to continue and I can live a happy life. Thank you.
So wonderful, Toastmaster Ritu Ghosh. This is something that I follow, but there's a famous quote on that which says, forgive them, but never forget those idiots who trouble you. But then, next one, Karthik. Karthik is also just joined us as a member. Karthik, the topic is for you.
What is the topic?
What is your favorite holiday? Whether it is a hill station, a beach, or a resort. What is your favorite holiday spot?
Hello, Toastmasters. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are. I'm Karthik, new to this Toastmaster. The topic really, I'm so excited to talk about and give what is my favorite holiday spot. Fortunately, from my hometown is Visakhapatnam, India. Here we have all these three things: beaches, hill stations, and resorts. One of the most interesting things for me is chilling at the beach. That gives me a lot of, when I'm in a lot of stress reliever. When I'm in a lot of stress or when I go somewhere out of my hometown, this beach immediately triggers me. I think I'm missing you, something like that. So I personally feel like beach is my favorite destiny. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Karthik. You're still a few more seconds. You can speak. Try to finish 1 minute.
Okay. And it doesn't mean that I don't like hill station and all, but whenever I would like to travel with my friends, then I prefer with hill station a lot, because there we can chill and there I can get a good nature view, calmness, and a good pollution-free environment at the hill stations. So I am very close to nature type of guy. So I feel like hill station, when I want to chill with friends in a very cool mode, I prefer hill stations. Coming to resorts, when it's a party mode, and I would like to go for with my friends along with in a party mode, I generally prefer resorts, not beaches, not hill stations, because resorts will give us a private space to enjoy ourselves and chit chat, open ourselves, discussing on one-on-ones. A very good place. It's all completely different. My holiday place completely depends on my mood, on which situation. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Karthik. Now, let me invite Jen. Jen, would you like to go for a topic?
Oh boy, I I guess I can give it a go.
Okay, I have an interesting topic for you to vent out all your frustration.
Sorry?
So, I have an interesting topic for you.
Okay.
Men are from Mars. Women are from Venus. What do you think, gender here?
Well, I think that we're all still in the same stratosphere, in the same universe. So although maybe men are from Mars and women are from Venus, we are still part of the same planetary stratosphere. So with one planet maybe having one gravitational pull and another having the other, we are still able to orbit around each other. And, you know, some may have their differences, and, you know, one of these planets may have a higher gravitational pull or be hotter. One might be cooler. But that being said, they're still able to orbit around each other in a sort of harmony and not necessarily clash into one another, just as perhaps men and women do a similar dance and orbit, if you will. And even though they have their differences, can still coexist in the same environment. Hope that was okay.
That's a nice political answer. I thought I would get some spicy reply, but that's fine. End of day, we all need to coexist on this planet, irrespective of whether we are aliens from Venus or Mars. Thank you very much for everyone who has participated in table topics. Remember, it is all about learning and growing. All that you learn goes to your well. You need to draw water out of it and then use that in your table topics or impromptu speeches. One famous technique that you can implement in your next table topic or impromptu situation is prep. Point and then make your reasoning, give your examples, and then make your point. Point can be anything, whether you agree, disagree to the point, and then give your reasons. Why do you think? And give examples from your personal or whatever you are saying. Then make your point again and conclude that talk. With that note, control is back to our dearest Toastmaster, distinguished Toastmaster Pramod, baby.
Thank you, Rakhu. It was an interesting session. So before handing over and going to the next session, I have 3 more courses to explain. I have already given information about 2 courses. So let me give you information about 2 more courses in a very quick manner. Let me share my screen. Yes. So this is again a topic very close to Toastmasters, leadership skills. Very short course offered by Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad, and the most and prestigious management institution in India. And this course is about how to improve your leadership skills. It says more about empathy, sympathy, understanding your team management, your own signature strength, and a lot more things. Mostly you will find the topics explained in these courses in some of the paths of pathways, because it is so closely. While doing this course, I wondered how Toastmasters International had anticipated all those things while designing the pathway courses. So the people who have done their DTMs or who have practiced speeches in the old path may not like pathways to such an extent. They might say that the old educational program was really good, and pathways is not that important. But let me tell you one thing, that pathways, if you do all these online courses, you'll understand that it is designed with something in their mind which caters to the need of the present time and especially the professional life. And I strongly advise this course for the youngsters who are planning to improve their leadership skills, and those who want to give speeches on leadership skills, or those who want to give more inputs and give a seminar, webinar. So all this, definitely this course will help you give a lot of material. And the fourth one, this is my personal favorite. And before explaining this course, let me tell you one story. I have a colleague with me, her name is Sujata. The problem is, whenever I ask some question, Sujata will not give any direct answer. If you ask Sujata, Sujata, have you sent that mail to the customer? So what I expect is a yes or no. But Sujata will start with something else. Sir, I was going through this thing, then I saw the files, then I was planning to note down all those things, and she will explain for another 2-3 minutes, and finally she'll say yes or no. But I never had the patience to listen to this 3 minutes preface. So that introduction before that answer, I wanted to get the answer directly, whether yes or no, so that I can move ahead. So there is always a conflict between me and Sujata. So the problem is, I didn't understand her type or a communication style of Sujata. So most of us, we make mistakes because we don't understand the other person properly, or the characteristics or the character type of the other person, or what they are going through in your life. So that is the reason why I told you this is my personal favorite, because mental health is something very important, and the small conflicts in our office places might create a stress and mental problems for many. How to avoid all those things, and how to understand how to behave with empathy with your team members. And this is the crux of this program, and it discusses about various actual mental problems that people face, then how to address it, how to give support to them. So sometimes we may feel helpless in certain situations while seeing the mannerisms or while seeing the frustration of some people. So how to handle all those things. Imagine that you have a team member who is not ready to listen to anything, but don't think that it is some kind of a megalomania. There is something, some science behind this particular pattern of behavior, and all those things will help you understand it in a better way. So this is my fourth course, and I strongly advise, and this course is offered by University of Sydney, a much reputed institution. I need not say anything more about it. Okay, 4 courses. The final course I'll tell you before the closure of this meeting. And now it's time to listen. We had 3 beautiful speeches, and all the speeches were good. We have some evaluation, but let's hear the evaluations from the expert and senior evaluators. And for conducting the evaluation session, we have somebody who has been observing the entire proceedings from the very beginning. I would gracefully hand over the control back to the general evaluator for today's meeting, Toastmaster Ashwin, for conducting the evaluation session. Over to you, Ashwin.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Pramod. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the speeches. And as Toastmaster Pramod said, we have our excellent evaluators. And I'd like to introduce our first evaluator, Susan.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, honored guests, and Stephen. The title started off immediately with great intrigue. Snooze your way to success. I've been trying to work on that my entire life. Thank you. Immediately came to mind was the quote from Benjamin Franklin, and then you delivered that quote. So I was so pleased, because early to bed is not what I do, but I'm also not an early riser. So I was very intrigued by this and waiting for this detail from you so exquisitely. You, first off, what I saw, you stood. It showed great confidence to us. You had a wonderful smile on your face, and you delivered eye contact with your audience for the most part. What I heard was a delightful cadence that you had, and you even used the word of the day twice as you were sharing with us, why is this important? And then why is it relevant? And then you went on to use your vocal variety, which I heard when you were talking about it being so critical. You surely showed all of the talents of Toastmasters, both visually and auditorily. The words you chose were very easy to understand and connect to. I love that you gave us 6 different lessons, and you gave us 6 in order and didn't mess up with those. Too often speakers forget to count them, and then I get lost. Sometimes they're not clear, but you clearly said to us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they were very well spoken as well as explained. It wasn't just the topic, but it was also a little bit more behind it, the consistency, the environment. You went on to tell us about limiting the alcohol, and you tried a little bit of humor, of course, that we could have a little alcohol and go to sleep faster, but of course that won't be quality of sleep. And to share, you gave us a call to action, your closing, where you're saying, don't put them all into place at once. Make sure also that you try to do it over a period of time, because most of us will fail, obviously. One suggestion that I make for you as you gave us this call to action is you said, this is now the definition of your success, your definition of success. What if you turned that around on the audience and said, after hearing this now, can that also be a definition of your success? Put it back in the audiences because you're delivering this for them. One other observation that I made was that while you were looking at some notes at times, you tended to come towards the computer just a little bit and move the screen perhaps a little bit, the mouse. I would suggest that if you want to stay that nice profile standing still, maybe invest in a little clicker so you don't have to have that distraction along there. But overall, I loved your message, and I love that you wrapped it up with the bookend with the quote, healthy, wealthy, and wise. That's what we all are looking for. Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you, Susan, for an excellent evaluation. I loved your cadence of your evaluation. Thank you. And now I would like to introduce none other than Dr. Mary Thomas for evaluating speaker 2.
Thank you, General Evaluator, Toastmaster of the Day, and most of all, Distinguished Toastmaster Milind. First of all, I would like to welcome you to the club. It's really a privilege and honor to have you with us so that we can listen to you. You're an advanced and seasoned speaker. That is given, needless to say. Coming to my evaluation, I'll speak about the title at a later part of the evaluation. The first thing that I observed was the clever way of showcasing your accolades. That was seen all through your speech. It was a very clever way, a very poised way of putting across your achievements, your awards, what you have done for Toastmasters, your career, everything. And why do I say it's a clever way? Because you said, if you're thinking, I'm going to talk about the hole-in-one that I got. If you're thinking, I'm going to talk about this or that, I forget that part now, but I remember very clearly that you put it this way. If you are thinking, yes, I am thinking, because that's a twist in the way that you put your accolades across to us. Wonderful. The mantras were good. You had 4 mantras. And you were telling us what to do to become a better leader. Your pathway is dynamic leadership just as well. You need to, all through your pathway, your competency would be to showcase and tell us what dynamic leadership is through your 15 speeches. That's great. You also ended by saying you have to unlearn, learn, and relearn. Great. Now to step up, to be a more polished speaker, I always emphasize on the title. The title is so important to get across the message and win over your audience the moment they hear the title. The title is your ace card to win your audience so that they want to sit up and listen to you rather than look at their phones. Therefore, when I talk about the title here, it was your a grandfather's story. And rightfully, you started that correctly. And you said about how you waited for your daughter to give birth. Sorry, your daughter to deliver your grandchild. And I was hoping that you're going to tell me a story about how life is as a grandfather. But again, there was a plot twist there, and you turned it around to your mantras. That's fine, but I would have preferred, this is a personal opinion, I would have preferred that the audience knew you were actually going to talk about your being a grandfather. The other one was that there were many nuggets in your speech, beautiful nuggets. We all need to learn. We all need to, no matter what our age, we need to still keep growing and keep learning. I would prefer that if it was organized it'd be more organized, all these nuggets, so that there is cadence in your speech as you repeatedly tell us a sequence of your mantras. And the other one would be pauses. It'll be nice if you can have pauses so that we can, kind of process what you're saying as you're speaking. The pauses, that's the purpose of the pauses. So overall, I'm so happy you're with us, distinguished Toastmaster Milind. I look forward to hearing more of your speeches. Back to you, General Evaluator.
All right, great. Thank you, Dr. Mary Thomas, for a great evaluation. And next, our evaluator number 2, Amit.
Thank you, Mr. General Evaluator. Rajat, I'm not sure at what pace an EV moves, but the pace at which you delivered the speech was fantastic. I think you must have spoken about 100 to 110 words per minute. And that was very easy for me, and I'm sure for the rest of us to understand. So well done on that. Second thing that you did very good was that you chose a topic which is very relevant to all of us. And also something that we can all do something about. So it got my interest. It's very important for me to see that the surroundings that I live in are well kept. And I was looking forward to hearing what I can do for it. So you got my interest there by choosing that topic. And you were very well prepared, Rajat. You all must have noticed the background that he used. That showed that he had done his preparation and had done his homework. Another thing that I liked in Rajat's speech was the opening. He created an image, a vision for all of us driving and how our experience would be driving our vehicle. And he created that foundation for his speech to later on move and talk about how an electric vehicle can make an impact to our experience of driving. These are some of the good things, Rajat, that I liked in your speech. However, there are a few points that I would like to recommend so that you can make this good speech even better. First and foremost, you were attempting to make an impact. And it was a very relevant message. I felt, however, that you were a bit too technical in your speech. Instead of using the terms like pounds and grams and the differences, what you could have done is you could have said an EV vehicle would cause 60% less pollution. So give it in percentage. That makes us feel, oh wow, if I buy an EV vehicle, my contribution to pollution or greenhouse gases would be so much percentage less. Use percentages. Second, you could have taken some clue from Stephen's speech, and you could have snoozed a bit during the speech. When by snooze, I mean you could have taken some pauses. So when you said floods in Pakistan or the glaciers melting, you could have paused a bit. The devastation that floods cause in Pakistan. Snooze for a bit. Let us feel it. So you could use these pauses or snoozes in your speech. Third, I know that the EVs are pretty stable. However, I noticed that you were shifting your balance a bit while talking. You were not steady. Finally, I would say call to action. I was sold with what you are saying, but you could have told us the price of the EV and how it is different and how I can afford it. So that would have been sort of a motivation for me to go for it. Overall, fantastic pace, relevant topic, good opening. Work on making it a little less technical, take pauses, stay steady, and give us a call to action. All the best, Rajat. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit, for your excellent evaluation. Now, I did love your cadence of your evaluation because as professionals, I was listening to every single word and there were pauses there. So that was really good. I will try to attain to that too. Thank you. Now, before I proceed, I'd like to call on my tag team. Well, what's a tag team? Well, T stands for timer, A, counter, and grammarian. So I'd like to call on my timer to give a report to see if our speakers, evaluators, and table topic speakers were within their limit.
Yeah. Regarding today's timer report, I'll start with the speaker one, Mr. Stephen. He spent 7 minutes, 44 seconds. Speaker 2, Mr. Milind, 5 minutes, 39 seconds. Speaker 3, Mr. Rajat, 7 minutes, 28 seconds. Evaluator 1, Susan, 3 minutes, 18 seconds. Evaluator 2, Mary Thomas, 3 minutes, 26 seconds. Evaluator 3, Amit, 3 minutes, 35 seconds. Coming to the table topics, table topic 1, Susan, 2 minutes, 12 seconds. Table topic 2, Ritu, 1 minute, 34 seconds. Table topic 3, Karthik, 1 minute, 59 seconds. Table topic 4, Jen, 1 minute, 27 seconds.
Thank you very much, Kamesh, for the timer report. And now for our counter, Camo.
Hello, I am the counter, and I will post the results in chat.
Thank you very much, Camo. And you were counting ahs, ums, you knows?
Okay. Yes, I was counting filler words, words that I thought were overused, and pauses.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. And now for a grammarian. Grammarian.
Yeah, hi. Yeah.
Hi, Mon.
Can I share my screen? Oh, I can't share.
Oh, wait. Go ahead, Mon.
Yeah, share my screen. Yeah, I put my best effort to at least give some value addition to everyone who spent their time in this meeting. Yeah, there are 3 categories here. The first one is cadence, the word of the day. So Stephen used it, Susan, Mary, and Ashwin used it. Pat on the back, good job. Then good usages, Kamesh, keep an eye on something. Then Stephen, caveat for strategy. And then Milind, repivot my career. And then Rajat, without leaving any footprint. Then Susan, I'm an open book. These are the good usages. I liked them. Moving to the third part. So I don't think that I'm a very picky person here. I just want to give some value to you. I have come out with a topic. Instead, you can say I have come up with a topic, right? Then give his icebreaker. Here today he's going to give his icebreaker. Instead, you can tell it as he is going to deliver his icebreaker today. Then why sleep is relevant. Maybe it's just a tongue slip. Maybe it's relevant. And alcohol will help me fall asleep. Instead, you can say fall asleep. Go to sleep or fall asleep. Yeah, the other one, our elder daughter delivered a baby. In my case, I have 3 daughters. Elder is what? First one or the second one? It's a bit vague. I don't say it is wrong. You can say eldest or the second. The other one is even the fuel has become more cleaner. Instead, you can say fuel has become cleaner. Let me put you some facts. Instead, you can say, let me put forward some facts. How would I present it to few? I read old grammar books from my father. It's like there's a difference between few and a few. Since we have a handful of people in this meeting, it could be to a few. And then I forget that things. I think this is more from the table topics. I understand there is some nervousness, but the word, I think the speaker forgets certain bad things or unpleasant things. So she repeated that things. So one thing I could suggest here is, instead of saying that things repeatedly, you can say it's like such unpleasant situations or bad situations. It doesn't mean I don't like hill station and all. Instead of and all, I think it is, you can drop this and all. I would prefer resorts, and then the sentence was broken and say not hill stations and others. Instead, you can directly use prefer A to B. I would prefer resorts to hill stations. So this is something that may help you. The last one, one planet has one gravitational pull and the other one has a different gravitational pull. Instead, you can say gravitational pull of one planet may be more powerful than the other. Yeah, so those are my findings. So just wherever I have seen some weakness, I have added. Yeah, that's it. That's all with me.
Great. Thank you, Mohan, for that great grammarian assessment. Now, just to clarify, Raghu, do I give my general evaluation speech now, or do I hand it back to?
Yes, please. Your general evaluator.
Yes, I will close it out. Thank you very much. Now, yes, we did start 1 minute delayed. As professionals, we do want to start early and on time. But you know, Murphy's Law always sticks with us, right? Oh, something always happens. But as Toastmasters and as professionals, we come together and get all the roles filled in. I do want to thank for the role players for filling in. And as a team, we make this club grow stronger and better. So I do want to appreciate that for having the role players and everyone participating too. For the speakers, I love the speech. I started to write notes. You know, what I'm going to do, Dr. Ru, is I'm going to make my room dark, cool, and quiet tonight, and I'm going to call you back and see if that works, okay? And I love the snippets, healthy, wealthier, and wise, so I do appreciate that. Speaker 2, I love your mantras. Oh my God, I started writing that down. Focus on process, right? Passion, build relationships, which I like, and the last but not least, be a good human being. Yes, we all need to be a good human being. So thank you. And speaker 3, thank you for talking about the cars. They're not just for going from point A to point B. You gave us an education on that. I do appreciate that. So thank you. I'm going to try this. Raghunanda Raghu. Is that right? Did I say it right? I will keep trying. I will keep trying. Thank you for great table topics. And appreciate all the guests for stepping up and saying something. I know you got that. You had the courage of doing that. I remember my first table topics. I mean, I said something for a minute. I don't even know what I said, but each day it did get better. So do appreciate them and have the courage to step up and practice and practice. Evaluators, oh my goodness. I have much to learn from you all. So thank you for giving an excellent evaluation. That is the hardest thing. I think that's the most important thing, I think, in Toastmasters meeting is to evaluate, to listen and to give effective evaluation. And my tag team, I appreciate you listening and giving a thorough report. As always, this meeting is awesome. And I thank everyone for coming, for giving a great speech and stepping up. And thank you very much. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ashwin, for that detailed G report. Now it's time for me to close the meeting with my final remarks. So before that, let me introduce the final and the fifth course that I have selected for the audience. The fifth one is pretty simple, but it is something very important in our life. 1 minute. Where is that? Yeah. So this is the final one. The final one is Introduction to Negotiation, a strategic playbook for becoming principled and persuasive negotiator. Whether you are a student, you are a husband, you are a wife, you are an employer, whether you are an employee, negotiation skill is something very important. So you don't know when there is a need for negotiating for something. Even in India, you will find people negotiating for each and everything, when they, even for buying something or even selling something, whether you're a businessman, you are an employee. So this is something very important. And sometimes we may feel that it is an inborn skill, that people, they get the skill with their birth. No, it's not like that. So you can practice it and you can develop it. And there are some rules for negotiation. And this course will guide you or teach you the step-by-step approach for an effective negotiation. So it involves a part of crucial conversations as well. And both these are interrelated. And in Toastmasters also, I have seen people giving speeches on this topic. So these 5 courses, one shortcut to all the people over here in the meeting. Sometimes I hear people complaining about not getting topic for their speeches in Toastmasters, especially those who had given 15-20 speeches. So this will give you a clear insight about what to talk about in a Toastmasters meeting and how to talk about in a Toastmasters meeting. And your life is full of experiences, how you can connect your experiences with these topics and pick one from your personal experience and give an effective speech. So this is all about the 5 topics which I promised you when I accepted the position of TMoD in today's meeting. And let me take an anticipatory bail. It's been a long time since I played the role of TMoD. I think it's more than 1.5 years. So if I had done some errors in the preparation, or I omitted any role players, or I forgot to appreciate somebody, I hope you would bear with me today, and I'll try to be better next time. I would request all the senior members in the meeting to give me their personal and constructive feedback. You can be brutal also, that's not an issue, about the conduct of the meeting. I really enjoyed being your host for today's meeting. Wish you all the best. See you next time in the meeting. Now I'm handing over the control back to the president of our club, Toastmaster Raghunatha Raju, for the closing remarks. Over to you, Raghu.
Thank you very much, distinguished Toastmaster Pramod. We adjourn the meeting officially. And